Namaste children. So children will today revise the chapter of economics, that is lesson number 2. In my previous classes we have already revised the chapter number 1, that is story of village Palampur, isn't it? I have revised also in my revision class and I have given you the homework also. Hope all of you will complete the homework and post it on the WhatsApp group so that I can check it and I can see whether you are doing revision on the taught portion or not. I have already given you videos of all these topics previously, but as the course is over, the syllabus is over, we are once again revising all these topics. And in this revision, we will just revise the topics. Will not take in so much detail, but just because already I have explained you each and every point in detail. So just we will revise all the topics. So today we'll start with revision of people as a resource. Now, what do you understand by people as a resource? Just remember in the last topic we had discussed in story of Palampur the factors of production, and in that the last factor of production was human capital. And while explaining that I told you that human capital is superior to all the capital. That means if other capital are not present in country, it can be managed, but if human capital is not there, a country can never develop, isn't it? So the question was also that justify that human capital is the best capital. So this chapter is continuation of this human capital. Now, people as a resource. People means human beings or people living in a country. And while discussing this chapter in my video I told you that human beings or people living in a country can be asset for that country also and liability for the country. Asset means they can be considered as the property of the nation. They can be considered as earning member of the nation, asset for the nation, who benefit the nation. Their contribution leads to development of the nation. And liability means burden for the country. They do not contribute for the development of the country. They are burden or their liability for the country, isn't it? And the country has to do something for them so that they can contribute for the development of the nation, isn't it? So we discussed that in people as a resource, people are asset also and liability also. How can people be asset for a nation? People of the country, human beings of the country can be asset when they are educated, skilled and trained, when they are literate. Naturally, when they are educated, skilled and trained, then they will earn for themselves also and they will earn for the nation also. It will lead for their development also, development of the families also, and their contribution will lead to development of the country also. So we can say that when in people of the country, education, skill and training and health, these things are inculcated, these things are included, they are being given, then people of a country can be converted into asset for a nation, isn't it? But exactly opposite, when people of any country, they are illiterate, they are not educated, they have ill health, they always fall sick, then naturally what will happen? If they are not educated, naturally they will not get employment. If they will not get employment, they will have lack of money. If they will have lack of money, then naturally they will have ill health because they will not get balanced diet. And naturally if they are of ill health, if they are not educated, they will not contribute to the development of the nation, and then naturally they will become a burden for a country, isn't it? So in the next chapter in second term, that is poverty, we'll study about this section of a country who are very poor, who are not educated, who are not skilled and trained. They don't have any job, isn't it? They work as daily wage earners and they are the burden on the nation, isn't it? So we'll study about these people. So there are two types of people in any country. People those who are educated, skilled, trained and of good health. They are asset for a nation. They earn for the nation. And the people that those who are not educated, skilled and trained, those who have ill health, they are burden for a nation, isn't it? So it is just every country tries that the people of the country they are being converted into asset, not liability. While teaching you the last lesson also and many a times I've given you example of Japan. In Japan, due to World War, totally it was destroyed due to nuclear power. And what happened? After that, due to as the government of Japan gave more importance on human resources, they invested more in education, skill, health and training. Now we see that Japan comes in category of developed country. So only that country will develop at a fast rate. Country who will give more attention to human resources so that the human beings of that country are skilled, trained and educated and they have good health, isn't it? So, in this chapter, we are going to study about how people are converted into a resource, how people can be converted into an asset, isn't it? And to explain and to justify this point, two examples are given in your book. I have discussed in my video also, and the example is of Sakal and Vilas. Once again, I will explain you the story. By listening the story, by this example, we'll clearly understand how people of a country can be converted into resource, how people of country are treated as asset also and how they become liability. So there are two friends, Sakal and Vilas. Both are living in the same village. But you see that both of them they have opposite situation, isn't it? See, Sakal father is a farmer. But though he is a farmer, he is not so economically well off. But then also he realizes importance of education. He feels that he will send his son Sakal to school. He sent him to good school. Then after that, after passing 12th, he got good marks Sakal and he took admission in an engineering college. For becoming an engineer, he took loan from the bank for his son. And after that, he got a degree. And after getting a degree, he became a good software engineer. As he was very meritorious from his childhood, he was also meritorious and his parents also. They were interested in education of Sakal. They invested, they took loan, isn't it? And they did not involve Sakal in their family work. That is, they did not involve Sakal in doing farming. And what happened due to this? Sakal became an engineer. He started getting a good salary. He started earning. And due to this, Sakal's economic condition also improved. His family also became economically well off. And as he worked hard for the company, he developed a new software. Due to this, he got a promotion. His company also prospered. He also became prosperous. His family also became prosperous. And due to this, it led to development of the nation. That means whatever he worked in the firm, as the firm earned profit, what happened? This profit was added to the national income of the country. Just so see here, due to effort of family, father of Sakal, what happened? It benefited to so many people. And as Sakal was now converted into asset for a nation, he became asset for a nation. Just opposite is the story of Vilas. In case of Vilas, Vilas also lived in the same village, but his story is just different from Sakal. Vilas' parents, they sold fish. Due to some reason, his father died, and after that, his mother did not send Vilas to school. He did not go to school, and he continued his same family business of selling fish. He was also, as he was poor, he did not have money. His parents could not pay attention to his health also. And due to this, what happened? Vilas. His family was poor in past also, but his parents did not pay attention and told him to continue the same family business. His parents were also fishermen and he also did the same business and he remained illiterate. So what happened? Sakal became a liability for a nation. That means he became burden for the nation, isn't it? So here, both the children, Sakal and Vilas, both are friends, but their economic condition is exactly opposite and it is only due to the efforts done by the parents, isn't it? Sakal's parents did a good effort and now he's employed, he's very prosperous, and Vilas' parents did not put any effort. They thought that just Vilas will continue the family business and he just remained poor. So there are this type of many Sakal. This is just imaginary story. But as you see in our country also, mostly you see that in the poor section of society, you can take your example also now, but certain situations are changing. But then also you see that the maid servants which are working at your home, mostly you see that their children, after them, they also continue the same work. They do not put effort in giving education to the children. At primary level, some children go to school, but when they grow up, they just continue the same work. So what happened? This continues for a long period of time. As we have discussed, this is known as what? Virtuous and vicious cycle. Virtuous cycle means if parents are educated, well aware, isn't it? If they know the importance of education, they will just do the same because the educated parents, they know the importance of education, they give education to their children, they just treat them, they just teach them different manners, they teach them how to live in hygienic condition, they also see that their children are being given balanced diet, isn't it? So this virtuous cycle continues. Children of educated and aware parents are also educated, and this cycle continues from generation to generation. And just exactly opposite is vicious cycle. The vicious cycle, the poor children, the poor parents, as they are illiterate, they are not educated, they live in unhygienic condition, they have poor health, so they don't understand the importance of hygiene and education. So they also don't pay attention to the education and hygiene of the children. They don't send the children to school. They think that instead of sending them to school, they will send them to earn outside. Some work in hotel, restaurant, garage, and they do the work of maid servants and just they earn for their family. So this vicious cycle continues. Their parents are also poor and illiterate. And the next generation, they also continue to be same. So until and unless this vicious circle will not be broken, poor people of the country, until and unless they will not realize the importance of education and hygiene, our country will not develop and the people of the country, instead of being asset for a country, they will be converted into liability of the country. And poverty will only be removed from a country when this liability point is just removed. So, today we have discussed about human resources, how people can be converted into resources, how, what is asset for a nation, how human beings can be converted into asset, how human beings can be converted into liability, what is virtuous cycle, what is vicious cycle, isn't it? We have discussed all these things. Then we have discussed about how human beings, how human capital is a superior to all the capitals. What is asset? What is liability? We have also discussed about story of Sakal and Vilas to prove that human resource is the most superior to all the resources. We have seen that how Sakal became a resource for a country and how Vilas became a liability for a nation. We have discussed all this. And in my next class, we'll discuss about what role education and health plays in formation of human capital. So in the next class, we'll continue with the revision of this chapter. So today we have discussed till here and your homework will be Just some of the questions which I'll give you. That prove with help of example that how human capital is superior to all the capital, or how human beings can be an asset and a liability for a nation. To complete this answer, you have to write the story of Sakal and Vilas, isn't it? Then the questions. Question number 2, you have to write what is virtuous cycle and what is vicious cycle. So this will be a homework, and always as I tell you that you just practice making short questions and MCQs. By practicing this, you will at least read the lesson, and you try to make maximum 20 to 30 multiple choice questions from all the chapter. So today we have discussed till here. Tomorrow or next week we'll continue with the next in this chapter, the next point. Thank you, children.